my theory, this is probably what I'll work on a dissertation on, well, my theory of religion and business, or spirituality and business. This has been the whole thing about being and living living the dream that you want to live. There are problems. Everybody has their own set of problems. Everybody has their own set of problems about either being in school, not having friends, family, dysfunctional, alcoholism, crack, whatever it is. We have a ton of issues. What have I learned? What have I learned from this whole thing? You got to take risks to live. Got to take risks to live. If you want to do anything great, anybody that has done anything great, it didn't come out. It wasn't just shown, and nobody saw it. And what are the effects of failure? Whether you're in business or not, whether you're in business, or you in a relationship, or you got friends, there is a huge, or you're in college, there's a huge risk of failure. 2/3 out of everybody that comes in college fail. 10 out of 11 businesses fail. We all know the failure rate. We all fail. Even the people that are still in business fail. Donald Trump fails. Everybody fails. And you know what everybody know, what all your peers and what your family know, you know what they have the foresight of knowing? The biggest thing that they have the foresight of knowing is they knew you were going to fail. Everybody knew that you were going to fail. Everybody, every time that you dated, your mama said you went out on a date with that boy in their relationship, and the relationship failed. Your mother said, I knew he wasn't no good. I can't tell me. Why didn't you tell me? When we decided to go into business, when I got laid off from my job, when I walked in, I had my nice $60,000 job at Coca-Cola, and they decided, oh, we're gonna cut 65 people out of the plant, and you one of them. And I said, man, I'm gonna go into business myself. I'm tired of this stuff. I ain't gonna take no more. They said, oh, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna start a lemonade company. They said, man, that's gonna fail. Why would anybody want to buy lemonade? When I decided my first girlfriend out of college, she was from New York. She's from Bronx, New York, and my mom walked in and she had a fade with some Adidas sneakers on, and I thought she was the best thing that ever happened. And when she left me, and I was suicidal, my mom said, I knew she wasn't no good anyway. I could have told you that. So the point that I'm making is that we all fail, and then and most of us can get up. Most of us can get up, and we can move forward. And what I found out, and this is the most important thing out of business, because we failed so much. The truth is that we started the things that Rob did tell you about. He said we started off in the kitchen. He told you about, oh, the governor got our drink. The governor picked us up. What he did tell you is that when the governor decided he wanted to carry us as the official drink for the state, is that we didn't have a business license. And with all that media came who? The health department. Health department. I was on Channel 32 talking about how successful we're going to be, and we're a brand new company, we're a minority company, and it had to have been 30 minutes later. The health department said, hey man, y'all ain't got no license. I don't have you on the books nowhere. But I done shook the governor's hand. I shook the governor's hand and said, oh, we're going to have 500 cases for you on Sunday of your inauguration. I promise you. I told the governor that. They said, no, you can't do it. And if you do it, you're going to go to jail. We had a decision to make. The health department said, you do it, you're going to go to jail, or you got to get a license. And I said, ma'am, I don't really have nothing anyway. I don't spend on the credit. I got credit cards. The credit card people are calling me every day. You know they call it like, after the first 90 days, they start calling like 11 times a day. They still all that. So I had four different credit card companies calling me 11 times a day. I'm already at Angelo's. It's nasty in there. And it's nasty in the daytime, so it's nasty at night. And then we trying to make 500 cases, and we on the news, and everybody know we're on the news. And we had a decision. We had a decision to make. She said, if you bring one thing of lemonade out there, you're gonna go to jail. you're going to go to jail. And I was like, ma'am, I done gave the man my word. You might as well come and get me. I'll see you out there Sunday. I just ain't going to tell you what time I'm coming. That kind of failure, that kind of pressure, that takes something else. You can't solve them kind of problems. Those kind of problems don't get fixed by yourself. You gotta have something else. You can't fix that. Your friends can't fix those problems. You gotta have something. I can't say the class. You gotta have God to fix that kind of problem out here. You got a problem. When you making your own lemonade in your backyard, and then you mess around and get married, your wife or your girlfriend that told you that they stick with you, sticking thin, but you done ran up $20,000 on your own credit card, and guess what she knew? That thing is going to fail. 1 year into your business, see, till you walking around trying to own your company, somebody tell you, and somebody's going behind your back saying, that nigga ain't no good. He's no good. That's no good. This is going to fail. You need to go and get another job. Nobody, he's broke. Everybody else saying, man, he owns his own business. He's broke. Your people right behind you, by the side, your side. Your friends that you borrowed the money from, those $40,000 that we borrowed, those friends are saying, you know what, where's my $1,000 bond? You ain't paid me back yet. What's happening with the business? You haven't sold anything. You don't have anybody you can talk to. You don't have any friends. You know that feeling? You know that feeling? Everybody got that. Everybody had that feeling. Even if it's in school, when you didn't pass your final exam, you know the feeling that nobody's going to help you the night before because you're about to fail your test, and nobody to help you with your answers. How do you get up from that? When that night that we came along, that night that came along, when they were about to kick us out of our office because we couldn't get the last loan. We were turned down from the bank. We got turned down from our 7th bank. All the banks in the city. We got turned down, every bank in the city, and the one black bank that we thought we had left in Birmingham got turned down from that. And the people that got us into business told us if we didn't pay in 30 days, they were going to kick us out. And I sat in my room and I called my wife, and she said, I knew that was going to fail anyway. And I decided I'm not as dramatic on TV. Then I pulled out a gun and said, you know what? I'm tired of this. But you know what? I'm scared. I was like, I can't. So I got on my bike. Went 85 miles down the freeway in the rain, hoping that I just have an accident. Take something else. Take something else. What made me get up? I don't know. But I got up the next day and got a $1,200 check from Calhoun Foods that they hadn't paid me. It was a late check, but it was $1,200 and I needed $700. We needed $700 to stay in the incubator. I just came the next day, and I decided I wasn't going to let nobody stop me. We weren't going to let nobody stop us, and we're going to be in business. The truth is, on today, about 4 o'clock, we will have shipped our first truckload, whatever, the 22,000 cases to Middle East, to a base in Iraq that we didn't even know about in March. So what keeps you in business? What keeps you going? What keeps you going from day to day? Can't say in the classroom because when you're supposed to talk about that ain't in the class. God got to keep you. God makes your way. So when all else fails, don't worry about what risk you took. Don't worry about what may happen or who talked about you or your girlfriend or your boyfriend not thinking that you're not quite right. Because those people don't matter. They will all forsake you. I'm telling you right now, the people closest to you will do you the wrongest. They will do you the wrongest, and you know what you got to do? You got to get up, and you got to forgive them. That's the hard part about it. The family that told me I was going to fail, that saw me in black in the press, said, guess what they said? I knew you was going to make it. I knew you were going to make it. I knew that's my uncle, he big time. That's my uncle, he big time. I knew it all along. And you know what you got to do? You can't be bitter, you just got to You got to hug them and say, you know what? Because they people, and people will screw you every time. You ain't got one thing that you can really depend on. So, with all that said, we're gonna take you to the next thing. We are about done. The only thing I wanted to do is say, live the dream that you imagine. Stop worrying about whether you're gonna lose or win. And we're gonna let Cynthia take us out of this thing. We are.